What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to the next part of the walkthrough. We are ready to start World 4, Island's Edge. So before we start this one, I'd suggest you try and get your bow upgraded to +7. If you don't have it there, you can always farm some of the miners or some of the hoplites to get a couple of the materials needed. We don't need to upgrade our bow just yet, but we are going to want to use it to kill an upcoming boss. If you're playing as a caster, you can obviously just use your spells. Just make sure that you have plenty of MP or spice to replenish that MP going into the boss. In addition, you want to make sure you have a Talisman of God. We're actually going to be trading this out. If you don't have one, no worries. There's one that we can get right in the beginning of the area. And if you have those knocked out, you've spent your souls, and as always, make sure you're in soul form. Head on in and jump to Island's Edge. Now, if you've been following the walkthrough from the start, we have already come to this area before. We came here to get some weapons very early on at the start. I'm going to be covering the location of those again, just for those that joined in a little bit late. We should be a lot easier going through this area now. There should have been a loot right here in the corner if you didn't grab it. Always try to bait this guy down before you mess with the archer. Ooh boy, been real close there. I might actually trade out my axe. So these enemies in particular, they're weak to blunt damage. So if you have a hammer or something like that, it'll work really well against them. There's a couple of different things we can use. Oh, there goes that loot. I'll switch to the falchion. We'll see how that deals with them. About the same. It's a little bit faster though. So maybe we'll keep using this. I mean, pretty soon the falchion won't get used really at all, but with the speed that it attacks, it'll probably be better for me here. So we have two enemies up here on this ledge. You can snipe them now if you want. Otherwise, we're going to kill them later. I mean, at this point, our bow is our strongest weapon, so... So there should be some loot over there, some loot over there, some loot over here. And this is typically a fog gate, which we've already passed that. So, was it back in here? No, it was outside. So back over here, and we grabbed this back at the start, I believe, but back over here, there should be a Talisman of God waiting right on that corpse. So if you haven't come here before, that's where you'll get the talisman that we're going to sacrifice. Instead, what we are going to do is go this way. Make sure you have a shield up, this shield right, or this platform right here. This is going to trigger a trap. And we're going to return out this way. And this is where we originally got the falchion that we're still using. So, only difference is now we're actually going to kill the Red-Eye Knight. This guy is pretty easy to get backstabs on. I know I'm failing to demonstrate that right now, but you can usually just circle behind this guy and get one. Just be careful blocking too much. He does do a lot of stamina damage, so it's really easy for him to blow past your shield. As you can see right there, I mean, that was, 70% of my stamina in one hit. Move on and kill him. Grab this. If you don't have the falchion we're using, it's right here on this body usually. And another thing to point out is that these enemies are where you farm the upgrade material for dex-based weapons. So if you're going the upgrade path for pure dexterity scaling, this is where you'd want to farm guys like those. There's one in particular later that I'll point out that's really good to farm. Let's see. We're gonna use the scaffolding here. We're gonna go up to those archers from earlier. We've already killed them. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my axe. I gotta get used to the moveset. Go over here. This is where we did the regenerator ring skip. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it. So down here, there's a key we need, but this area is a trap. You can see the platform right there, so just be aware of that. Grab the copper key. If you do trigger the trap, As you can see, it's basically a cross pattern. So it's going to shoot across, it's going to shoot across. So if you trigger the trap, standing right here in the corner of the room is one of the few safe spots. Over here, you should still be safe as well. But honestly, the best thing is to just avoid the trap. But so after you have the key, we're going to go up this way. If you look across, you'll see a crystal lizard over there. Now, it'll be just a little bit before we get to this guy, but just because he's likely to run, we're going to go ahead and snipe him now. Just so we kill him, and then that loot will be waiting for us. Now, obviously, by doing this, if you die, you are going to miss out on that crystal lizard loot, but if you're following this guide, you should make it over there just fine. It's not that far. So, let's see. When returning, drop down. It's not lizard. Returning. Okay, so we're going to drop down this way. You can kill this guy if you want as well. Give me a lock on. Oh. Gonna be a skelly right here. Okay, ma'am. Once we get through this, there's gonna be another skelly on our right. And he's actually, there's a hidden wall right here, but don't worry about that for now. We'll come back to that. Then we're going to go up for one more skelly. Okay, kill 3 skellies, then go, okay, we're going to go this way. That's where the archer was. And this is the compound longbow. So if you don't like the bow we're using, you can upgrade that. And over here, this is Sparkly the Crow. Now, Sparkly the Crow is a mechanic that we've seen in almost every Souls game. He's unique in that you can trade him certain things and get certain things back. So what we are going to be trading here is our talisman. Back over to it. You're going to go here. You're going to drop it. Okay, Sparkly, happy, happy. That means he's happy with the trade. We're going to grab this loot real fast, because to be honest, I'm not sure if this will remain after we reload the zone. Then just drop down and we can run right back up to where Sparkly is very easily. But there is a large number of things you can trade with them. So many that, frankly, it's just not worth it to list them off. It's one of those things that just look up Sparkly trades on the wiki. For example, one of the rings that you're going to need, you need to trade him a gold coin to get the Ring of Uneven Scales for your ring trophy. But so what you do is you drop an item. He'll say, Sparky, happy, happy. We go over here. We're going to save and exit the game. And then we're going to continue. When the game reloads, there should now be a new piece of loot on the ground, as you can see. Now, the reason we traded away our talisman in particular, this will give us a colorless Demons Soul. Very similar to the one that we picked up, well, identical to the one we picked up back in the pit of 1-1. And we want that to upgrade a weapon a little bit. You can also trade a gold mask tomb for another colorless Demons Soul, but we're not going to have one of those for quite a while. Let's see. Okay, so after we got him, we can head back down, and we're going to go over to that hidden wall that I pointed out that we didn't really proceed into. So just whack and open it up. And then let's see. Okay, so we want to go until we see the red light. Once the lighting gets red, oh, there it is. There's our ambush. There's one. Thankfully, the other one, a little dirty and stuck on the wall. I think I'm going to just stick one-handed. One-handed seems to work much better in here. The faster attack speed of it. I'll use this. Alright, next we're going to go over here. This, send it back. And then keep going. And this, we will use the copper key that we picked up earlier. Free the man. Dudes, I gotta get rid of some of my stuff here. I'm a little bit over on item capacity. I want to be able to pick up the healing stuff, so. I don't know how nice this is. Such amazing quality of life. Only because we used to not be able to do this. You know, we had to actually like go through and go back to the base and actually like manually drop stuff off. Now we're able to just hop over here and just run through and send stuff to the stash. Get a ton of space. Anyway, talk to him. He's going to hop over to the next zone after we finish this area, but we can buy some grass from him. If you're low on grass, you can pick some up. The sticky white slime, you get 2 for 5,000, which is not too bad. Cloudstone ore, and those are the main big things. We got the barbarian set here as well. But a nice little merchant here. Mainly, this is your sticky white slime merchant. So if you want more sticky white slime, this is the man where you're going to get it. Okay, and then when we go down this path, there is going to be a trap waiting for us. Let's see it right here. And this is where the demon is that we killed way back in episode 3. So if you didn't follow along with the series, over here is another one of those demons from the start of the game. We killed him early on for some extra souls. Beyond that, I'd also like to point out that over here is where we get the piece of loot there. There's a piece of loot. A corpse over here. There's the Khalij, something else. And then over here is the Uchigatana on a corpse. But so anyway, after popping out here, we're going to work around this corner real fast just to grab a couple of loots. Unknown hero soul. And then Cloudstone shard. And then we're going to go through the fog. Okay, so after the fog, we are going to pick this ladder up. And now you'll notice there's a lot of stuff being shot at us. That is from the manta rays in the sky. If you're getting hit a lot, you can go ahead and just swap to the thief ring. And for the most part, you'll be safe. They're not going to really hit you. Obviously, we're sacrificing our cling ring for this. So something to keep in mind there. But we're going to go ahead and pick up this loot. And go over this way and get some more goodies. If you want, you can certainly just, snipe these things out. You don't have to leave them alive. In fact, this is a good platform to try and get some shots off. Kind of far, I don't know. We'll see if I can hit it. Oh, a little bit too far. That's fine. With the thief ring on, they're largely just going to ignore us. They're so far up that we're basically out of their aggro range. Let's see here. So far, we got the stuff. Round corners loot. Another soul. So go back here. A bit too far. Trying to get the angle. There we go. Gonna snipe him. And then there's skellies that are below that we're gonna try and snipe as well. You can see Rolly McGee is already going a little bit crazy. You gotta wait till they stop rolling and calm down before you can really get another shot on them. And you don't have to snipe these guys up here. This is just a way to make things a little bit safer. See, this guy is... No. Pretty funny just watching him roll over and over like that. Stop? I think he stopped. Oh, that's fine. We'll just drop down and... And there's a red eye. And you can use this ledge how we are, or this little wall right here, to be extra cheeky if you'd like. You can see the AI on these things isn't exactly the brightest. But make sure you have about 50 arrows left because we're going to be using this bow to kill a boss. So I'm going to save the rest of them here. And we'll go in and we'll kill this guy the old-fashioned way. Circling around and hitting him. Alright, right back here we have the Adjudicator Shield, or excuse me, Adjudicator. I mispronounced that a lot and it makes lots of people upset. This is actually a pretty interesting shield. You can't parry with it, but it'll grant you passive health regeneration. So the health regen you get with it will go up as it's upgraded. It starts off at +2 and it'll go all the way up to +8. The shield does require colorless Demon Souls to upgrade. Oh god. I remembered the trap was behind me at the last second, of course. Let's see. Around corner is loop, but another trap. Around corner to right is another soul. It's alright, we can just haul ass back there. And this is actually a really nice kind of sword and board shield to play with, mainly because you are taking advantage of that health regen. And it has nice stability. You can see we're able to pretty easily just roll through enemies now. It's not 100% resistance, so it's not the same as like the shield we got down in the pit, but it is a pretty nice one. In particular, just to show off the stats on this thing. As you can see, 90, 50, 10, 50. So the biggest thing here is the 90 physical and then the 50 guard break. This is how shield builds play. And we're not going to worry about those archers or anything. We're just going to make our way back to where that trap was at. These guys do not like dying. Stay still. Bladestone shard, very nice. Alright. There we go. Sneaky trap. So let's see, around corner to the right, up here. Bring out Hero Soul. And we can drop on down. You can see that's the platform where we got loots before. So there's going to be a lot of rays that are coming past. Kind of hear them already. You should be mostly safe from your thief ring. But you also have enemies on this cliff. So what we're going to do is basically get that enemy to look at us. Then we're going to run back. And we're going to fight him right here. This way we have a little bit of protection from the rays. Of course, he didn't follow me all the way. And I need to lure him a little bit more. Come on, buddy. If you're feeling extra feisty, you could try knocking him off the cliff ledge. And right now, the thief ring is kind of a double-edged sword for us here, because on one hand, it's messing with the aggro radius for this guy. Then the other, it's protecting us from the manta rays, the flying rays. And you can certainly fight him on the edge of the cliff. I just wouldn't recommend it, mainly because that's, you know, the last thing you want is to get gravity by trying to dodge this giant sword. So just pull him back here, nice and safe. Let me have one more. This one's not as bad. He's in a more open area, so we'll just run up and fight this one. And keep in mind, the Thief Ring doesn't make us, we're not invisible with it. It just reduces our aggro range a lot. So basically we can still get hit, but there's less of a chance of them coming after us. And you can always sit and snipe them out with your bow as well. That's certainly another option. Pull this one over. Come on. Stop wasting my time. Alright, and with those skellies dead, you are basically home free. So we're going to go through here. And there's a couple things we want to get here. So the boss is right through that door over there. Instead, we're going to pick up this. Going to go across this platform with the Grave Robber's Ring. Going to go out here. And get the chunk stone. Now for this lizard right here, oh, it's already running. We're going to wait till it stops here and then get a snipe on it. Oh, it got away. Oh, anyway, that one's a tricky one to get, mainly because he's going to haul ass. And, you know, you don't want him to run off the ledge here, so sniping is going to be your best bet. But if you come on over here, here is the regenerator ring from the skip. So at this point in the game, we'll go ahead and just swap that over. And now having both the regenerator ring and the agitator shield, we have quite a nice amount of hefty healing coming in. It's like roughly 7 HP per second. Now, while the shield can get upgraded to 8 health per second, as I mentioned, we're actually going to want those colorless demon souls to upgrade a weapon that we're going to be going for. So keep that in mind. I would suggest maxing out your weapon before you worry about the shield. Walk back out. Lizard side for loot. Lower door for another trap. Oh, that's right. There's one more trap here. Dodge that one. We have one last red eye here to fight. So while I'm doing this, I'll explain the boss. The boss is called the Adjudicator. A little bit of an interesting boss. Basically, it's a big fat guy that has a bird on his head, and to actually hurt him, you need to damage the bird. That's where the real damage comes from. So what you can do is with a magic build or a ranged build, you can basically just stay up top and just shoot the bird and snipe the bird. Now, there is an achievement for killing him without him falling down from the platforms. Basically, he is on a upper platform here, and will continually fall. And so what we want to do, we're actually going to put back on our, where's our baby at? Put on our thing ring just to have a little bit more health here. we want to stay up on this very top platform and just shoot him with the bow, which is why we wanted to bow up at +7. So head on in. Target the little yellow bird here. There we go. All right, and now just wait a second. He's gonna send a tongue through the ground here, so we're gonna just wait a second. We might take a hit or two, that's fine. The biggest thing is we need to pop that off without him targeting. So we're trying to just pop the bird, dodge the tongue at the same time. Take a hit, that's fine. You shouldn't take enough damage to die here. Every time you hear the bird call, that's when we're gonna dodge. That's when he's trying to attack. And typically this fight isn't as gimmicky, but because we want to get the achievement here, there we go. The bird is in fact not the word. Right, so there is I don't know if you're doing melee, you need to so if you're not getting the trophy, basically you just need to do enough damage to him to where he like falls over and exposes the bird. We got the loot. And we are good. So first thing we're doing, of course, is warping out immediately and getting rid of our humanity. Now, the soul we got from him, we can do two things. We can either turn it into a miracle, which... Oh no, did we just crash? Oh, Sony, why? Why did you do this to me? You know, the one thing I'll give the PlayStation 5 is it sure reboots real fast on crashes. But so the soul, we need it for a miracle. So if you're trying to split up your trophies between multiple characters, just have one character get the miracle. But the soul actually gives you access to one of the strongest weapons in the game, something called the butcher knife. That's what I was using on my Let's Play series. So all you need to do is after we kill Flame Lurker, and you go to the blacksmith, if you bring the soul and you bring along the great club that we got earlier, you can make the butcher knife. Now it's a quality scaling weapon, which means it has S tier scaling in both strength and dexterity, and it also has A scaling in faith. So a very, very powerful weapon, especially for late game builds where, like, you know, if you're on New Game Plus and say you have 30 strength, 30 dex, and 30 faith, you're just going to be an absolute monster, just smashing stuff. It also has split damage as well, so all in all, just an astounding weapon to use, if not a little bit slow. But keep in mind that you do need that soul for a miracle. Now the last thing I want to touch on before we wrap up this episode is, having finished the Adjudicator, we actually now have access to one of the best farms in the game. So I'm going to show this real fast. This is another farm that you're going to want your bow for. We're not even going to do much of we're not going to loot anything here. We're just going to show the farm real fast. So just bring your bow along. That's the merchant from before. He'll stay there from now on. Go ahead and pop this. This is the one cutscene I'm going to show because I cut it out of my Let's Play. Because I was like, oh, we got the farm. Let's do the farm. Those white lights represent all the delicious souls that we're about to get. So when we kill the Grim Reaper, all of these things he is summoning up, they die. So basically we just go here, we pop this guy off, should take about 3 arrows. 4,592 souls. And that's it. That's the it took almost no time at all to do that. No time. And then after doing it, all we got to do, we just walk right up back here and just rest. And now we could run right back down and we could kill that guy again. So if you're really struggling in the game, or you're out of souls and you want to buy grass, or whatever the case is, anytime that you're low on souls and you're like, you know, I need to buy upgrade mats, or I need to buy healing items, or you know what, I'm struggling a lot, I think I want to level up 10 times and put it all in vitality, this is the place to go. You're getting 5,000 souls, and it took me, what, 15 seconds to kill that guy? So very, very potent farm. Honestly, the best farm at this point in the game, and possibly even later. Like, until you get like AoE moves where you can wipe entire rooms, this is the go-to farm for a lot of players. So anyway, now that we have shown that, you know where to get your farm on. Next, we're going to do World 5-1, the Depraved Chasm, which is this game's version of kind of Blighttown, if you will. So either way, stay tuned, and I will catch you all soon enough as we continue.